Hi everyone, and welcome to Lesson 2, our first asynchronous lesson for the course, and Happy Canada Day. Hope you're all doing well. In this video, I'm going to do a quick reflection on Lesson 1, provide an overview on Lesson 2, and lead us into our next lesson, which will be Lesson 3. So I'm going to try to make this as brief as I can, because I know you have much better things to do on this holiday than watch a video. So a couple of things I just wanted to comment on Lesson 1 in terms of reflection. The first is we have a really wonderful, diverse community, very similar to Canada as a nation. And what this means for me, at least, is that we have a lot of opportunities to expand our professional context, which means that we're going to get a lot of opportunities to talk to people who are working in areas or fields or kind of positions that are different than our own, which gives us an opportunity to think a little bit more about how we work in our own context and how that could be different in other areas. The other thing is a challenge that comes with this is that we also then need to think about how we can then take these discussions and activities and things that we're doing in the course and apply them to an individual context. So we have to think about how does it relate to you. So in some respects, you have to be very social and think about other people. In other respects, you have to be very, selfish and think about yourself. So we have to balance those two things. The other thing that came out of our first lesson is a little bit of an adjustment on the assessment plan. So based on our discussion, we're going to follow the existing assessment structure, which has the three evaluation pieces, so the community contributions, the playing with platforms, group facilitation, and the educational technology review paper. The adjustments are that, just a quick reminder, the playing with platforms is going to be a group project, and I'm going to give you some more direction on that in the lesson number 3. The educational technology review was originally supposed to be an individual assignment, but the suggestion was made that perhaps we could do it in pairs. So I am respective of that suggestion and open to it. Again, we'll look at what that looks like in lesson number 3. Now, in terms of lesson number 2, this is an asynchronous lesson, so you're completing it online entirely, and it's pretty much all on this page. So if you just scroll down, but watch the video first, keep watching. You can scroll down, and all the links, all the videos are going to be embedded on this page, so everything's in one place, so you don't have to jump around. But these are sort of the three main things that we're doing. The first thing is I have a video for you that I'm going to ask you to watch. Then there'll be a discussion relating to the question of in what ways do online technologies change the role and identity of the educator. And then I'm going to ask you to create something. And I'm going to ask you to create this digital identity prior to our next class, so we can have a little bit of a discussion about the tools that people used. So I'm going to talk about these in a little bit more detail right now. So here we go. The first video I'm going to ask you to watch is Shigata Mitra's School in the Cloud. Now, Shigata Mitra has several TED Talks that have been watched by millions and millions of people around the world. So this one is specifically talking about his vision for the future of education, which coincidentally, as relevant to this course, involves online technologies. And as you're watching the video, the one discussion question that I'd like you to think of, I'm sure there's others that can come up, and they can come up in our discussion, but in what ways do online technologies change the role and identity of the educator? And Shigata Mitra has some pretty strong opinions about that. And one thing to emphasize is you don't have to agree with him. You can disagree with him. We just need to make sure that we're validating our opinions with our professional knowledge. Now, in terms of where I'm going to ask you to post your responses to that, I'd like you to post your responses to that question in the discussion thread at the bottom of this page. So you can just go down to the bottom, enter your reply, put your posting, your thoughts. Now, I will need to moderate that as it will be your first posting, but then once I've approved the comment, you will be able to post to any other threads throughout the course. So that's what we're going to watch. Then I also have a little bit of a challenge for you. So what I'm going to try and do is each week give you a tech challenge where I'm going to give you a pedagogical problem and ask you to see if you can explore different technologies that can help you solve that pedagogical problem. And then we'll talk about that in our synchronous class on the Monday nights. So the pedagogical problem for this is, how can students use online technologies to share stories with their peers? Now, that's a very broad pedagogical problem that can be applied within a variety of situations. However, within our specific situations, I'm going to ask you to share the story of you. So you are the story, and I'm going to ask you to create some type of artifact that you can share with our group that tells us a little bit more about who you are. Now, I'm using the word artifact intentionally. I I'm not saying video, I'm not saying avatar, I'm not saying anything like that, because I want you to feel open to explore a variety of tools and a variety of ways of sharing your story with other people. Now, in terms of things to consider with your story, you want to take a look at what's the information that you want to share, what's the form that you want your story to take, are there tools that you already know that you can use, or maybe there's a tool that you want to explore and you can try that here, and then how do you share that? So these are some of the key questions that come with sharing online artifacts. Now, in terms of posting it, I'm going to ask you to post it to a different page, so you can see the link on the bottom. But again, if you scroll down to the bottom of this page, this link will be there for you. All you have to do is click on it and it will take you directly there, as well as these instructions are also at the bottom of the page. But you're going to post a link to your artifact. Tell us a little bit in your posting about what tool you used, why you chose that tool over some other tools, and then give us a little bit of a very brief summary of your experience. Now, I'm not looking for a lot of text here. We just want, if somebody else is interested in the tool that you used, for them to get some context and background information. So, have you used the tool before? What successes have you had? What challenges did you experience? And would you recommend the tool to others who might be trying to do the same thing? So that's all that you're going to find on this page, and then next class will be lesson number 3, where we're going to be exploring a variety of online technologies and reviewing some of the discussions that happened asynchronously. So if you have any questions, please feel free to post them as a response to the bottom of this page, and I look forward to seeing you next week.